Welcome. Are you charged with driving while suspended or driving while revoked in Pleasant Hill, Missouri? Are you worried about the financial consequences from fines and court costs and want to know what those are? Do you want to avoid the problems with an additional suspension of your driver's license, a rise in your insurance rates, or the mandatory minimum 48 hours of jail time mandated in many situations? Well, I'm Matt Hamilton, and in this video we teach you how to manage those risks, solve those problems, and deal with your driving while suspended and revoked ticket. Being suspended and being revoked mean two different things. However, under the statute, it's the same punishment, same elements. Indeed, it's the same statute. In that statute, they simply say suspended or revoked. It does not mean the same that you would think. It's not common sense. And there are many distinctions. Let me teach you them. The first element is you have to be operating a motor vehicle. That doesn't mean everything you think it is. Operating a motor vehicle is defined under Missouri statute as actual physical control of a motor vehicle. Now, motor vehicle is defined more broadly than you might anticipate. You're talking about construction equipment, farm equipment, lawnmowers. We've all seen those silly videos. Those are defined broadly. So that definition is not going to help you. Also, actual physical control can mean many things, not just moving the vehicle down the street. I've seen suspended tickets for just sitting in a parked position where the vehicle's not moving. I've seen driving while revoked tickets where the vehicle's actually off. Well, if you've got the keys in your hand and you're in the vehicle, you're in actual physical control of it in all likelihood, unless there's some special circumstance, which you should tell me about. Therefore, you are in actual physical control, you're operating it, you're guilty. Now, one thing that is a defense that you might not anticipate is it has to be operating on a city street, a county road, or a Missouri state highway. So if you're in private property, you're in your backyard, that is a defense. You're not operating on city property. That's not a violation. You're not driving while suspended or revoked. One thing that people think is a defense is ignorance. And I don't mean to say you're ignorant, I mean to say you did not know. Oftentimes that's your driver's license address differs from the actual physical address that you live at. So the state sends you a letter, you never receive it, you're never informed that you're suspended, and therefore you didn't know. Or there was a reinstatement fee that you thought got paid and never actually got processed. Or there's an issue with the child support that you weren't aware of. Or there's a failure to appear in court and they send out a suspension and you weren't informed of that. Those are not defenses, and indeed bringing them up only serves to irritate the prosecutor or the judge because they're sick of those non-defenses being sold as defenses. Don't do that. There are other ways to look at it. There's another issue that people think is a defense which no longer is, and that is a change in Missouri law. The law now states that you are suspended in Missouri or any other state. That means you can be perfectly fine, perfectly clean in Missouri, but be suspended in Kansas or revoked in Iowa. That means you're guilty under the law. So watch out for that. That's not a defense. It's the second most expensive traffic ticket one can get other than a DWI. Expect the cost to be between $825 and $1,250 for a driving while suspended ticket. Fines in municipal court go up to $225, and in state court can go up to $500 fine alone, plus another $56 to several $100s for court costs, up to $5,000 in state court. So watch out for these tickets. They can really be expensive. Managing that finance is part of what I do. I try to save you money. So give us a call and let's plan out a strategy that allow you to spend as little as possible and solve these problems. Another issue and a reason why to call an attorney that practices in this area as soon as possible is that in order to manage the money, in order to manage the conviction and get rid of the jail time, you need to plan ahead. Getting reinstated is the single first and best option that you can get to do it. And oftentimes that requires a lawyer to intervene either with court or with the Missouri Department of Revenue Driver's License Bureau and get you your license reinstated. Even if it's on a temporary basis, that should be good enough in many circumstances. Planning ahead, because sometimes that takes months and months to get done. So what we do is we manage that, delay your court case, and solve the problem. Another issue that you run into is some people do not have the option of being reinstated because of a 5-year denial, a 10-year denial, or a child support issue. Well, in that circumstance, you're going to also be worrying about a presentation directly to your judge. And we need to take into account your virtues and accentuate those, and your vices and deal with those and manage those, and so that the presentation to the prosecutor and the judge maximizes your chances of success, and often, if we can, guarantees your success. Well, that is driving while revoked, driving while suspended. I hope it's helpful to you. I want you to go to my website and look up your particular court and situation. I'll have additional detailed information that applies to you there. Also call us and I'll be able to manage your particular situation, which I don't know right now in this video, but you will be able to tell me about over the telephone. I'm Matt Hamilton. I hope I've been helpful. Thank you for joining me.